Hello everybody, this is Trish from ArtJournalJunkie. I'm back. Can you believe it? I got lost a little while, you know, after COVID, and anyway, I got myself a new camera set up, and I'm just doing a little test to put this up onto YouTube and also to show you on the Facebook page of ArtJournalJunkie. So this is my new little Paperblanks journal. I thought I'd just do a quick little flip through of what I've done. Not much since May. When I came back from overseas, I picked this up in the UK, and I was just so delighted with the design, the lacquer design on the front. But I will be honest with you, the paper inside itself is not very good. Well, not for what I want it for. Originally, I was just going to work with Sharpies in it, and so I drew a Sharpie. And I found that it actually wasn't too bad. It didn't bleed through too much, except for where I'd written the word Sharpie. And then I did a little bit of Neurographica, just with some, again, Sharpies, and it bled through so badly that I actually ended up sticking this beautiful advert, absolutely loved the colors, onto the back of the page to get rid of the bleed through. And then I just, because the page was a little bit short, I just colored it in with some, I think it was acrylic paint, yes, and made some little dots and a couple of stars. And then, just because it was a beautiful picture of perfume, I decided we needed a little lady to go shopping. So again, this was using Sharpie, and again it bled through. So guess what? I stuck a picture that I really liked from out of a magazine. Then I thought, well, let me have a look, and let me play around with pooling with some watercolor paints. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to bring it up closer. But like about here, you can see the texture of the paper coming through. Now, some people might enjoy that, and they'd be quite happy with that. When I'm working with watercolors, I don't want that sort of texture. And also, it just, yeah, it pulled the paper, and the paper sort of crumpled, and I had to shove this under, actually my heat press. I didn't have the heat on, but I put it under my heat press to try and just straighten it out. Then the little girl came from Bits and Bobs. Well, actually, that was just a little piece of Courtney Diaz from Little Raven Ink. I'm one of her patrons, so I get her monthly collage sheets. So I cut out a little body, took the little face, and then I recolored in the little flower to match with the yellow flowers there. And I said, it's okay. I added some little legs and some arms, and this little girl has made her way into my Paperblanks journal. Then I wasn't going to give up with the watercolor, because although it had pulled here and I wasn't happy with the coloring, I actually didn't mind it across the whole page, and it had not bled through. So I don't know, I'm not a green person, y'all. So I took some yellow, some green, I think it was like a gold green from the Daniel Smith watercolors, and I just put watercolor all over. Then took a black Sharpie, no, this wasn't a Sharpie, this was a Posca pen. Took a black Posca pen, just outlined the leaves, colored the back end in also with black acrylic paint, and then did some splatters. You know, who doesn't love splatters? And of course, this is just using my own handwriting, which I learned from Joanne Sharpe, was how to take your own handwriting and make it into a font. Then, you know, you got to say I've got determination, right, with the watercolor thing. Even though I don't like it, I've got determination. So, so I did some, first of all, on this side, I did some tombos, just some stripes of tombow, and I used some watercolor I beg your pardon, I used some water to create it into watercolor. And I asked myself, where is all this green coming from? Long story short, at the time, the Rugby World Cup was on and South Africa was playing in the finals. And I said to my husband, I said, oh, now I know where the green and gold is coming from, because those are our colors. However, I had no gold. So I had to come back and rush in here before the Rugby World Cup started, and I added some gold in. I don't know if you can see, there we go, some gold. And also on the side I added in some gold. So I think it helped. I'd like to take credit for it. South Africa won the Rugby World Cup. Anyway, again, this was just using some watercolor, some gold. I've got a beautiful gold pen. I must show you. It's become my favorite go-to. And let me just get it out here. These are thems. It's a Pilot Super Color, permanent type, gold. They have a silver as well. Not keen on the silver, but this gold is absolutely gorgeous. And then because something had bled through, I tried to fix it up with some white acrylic and gave up. You know what, it's just a journal to play in, and it's small. I'm not actually sure. Let me tell you what the size is. Let's have a look here quickly. So it is 6.5 by 4.5 or thereabout. So it's not a very, very big journal, and it's perfect for just testing out and playing to see where I'm going with the all the stuff that I have in my art room. This is a picture I took of myself. No, I didn't take it of myself. What am I saying? This is a picture somebody took of me when I was in Holland in the summertime. And I am always a permanently exhausted pigeon. This background was from, let me get it here, my drop sheet. Now when I'm painting, this is what it looks like. I paint, actually, so this is what I do. Have a piece of paper down here, I'm busy working, I take my pen, I scratch it off, I take some paint, I make some dots. If I've got a stencil, I might just finish off on the stencil, and this is a drop sheet, which I then play around with afterwards, but that's for another video. So I cut out a piece of drop sheet and I tipped it in. There's the back end. So there's the back end of this piece of drop sheet. You see there it is. There's the back end. So this is tipped it in with some washi tape, plastered a picture of myself that I printed off on my inkjet printer, and then I wrote about aging, because I'd noticed that I'm getting grey and I've got wrinkles, and yeah, I'm actually very grateful to be aging. So I said, yeah, aging isn't about lost youth, all right? It's about finding who your true friends are. It's the confidence to be yourself in any room, the difference between shiny and worthy, taking time to dedicate to things that bring you joy, the wisdom to say no to those that don't, finding the freedom to choose your own path in life, the courage to be happy in your own skin, the knowledge to understand and accept that very little matters in the end. And that's with thanks to Donna Ashworth, who had written this, and I just adapted it to suit myself. Right, so as I say, this was a tip-in, and if you actually look, it doesn't, you know, it adds a little bit of bulk, but we'll see how this little journal goes as I carry on. I left the back. I've done absolutely nothing on it, and found this picture which I didn't stick in very well, but as I said, it's just a play journal. Then I'm an avid follower of Joanne Fink's Dudash. She is just the most amazing artist and calligrapher, and she is a poet. And at this particular time, I needed this blessing. I needed this poetry of hers, so I printed it out. She always is very graceful in allowing us to use her poetry and her images, and obviously with attribution. So thank you, Joanne Fink. Then I found Indian ink. Remember, this is a play journal. So what I did was I flooded the page with some water, and I just dropped some Indian ink here and there. And have a look at this one. I just love this. Isn't this gorgeous down here? This bloom. It was a bit, maybe I used too much of the ink, I'm not sure, but it got some really interesting blooms and this grey tone out of this Indian ink. And then I thought, well, you know, I always have to put a saying in my book, so what am I going to put in? And there is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets through. And this picture was a photograph that Courtney Diaz took, and was also one of her collage pages many, many years ago. And I just thought, you know, it's a tree and the light is coming through. So that was that page. Now you must remember, these pages, I don't take more than 20 minutes per page, not every day, but when I do get around to it. So I had a slice of this little, here we go, you know, this background, this tip-in card. I'd had a little slice and I thought, I don't really want to throw it away. So I inked up the edges of it, popped it on here with some glue, and I wrote in the style of Terri Dudash, also from ArtJournalJunkie. She's been kind enough to start up I think it's an 8-page Pieces of Me, which I'm going to start this weekend. But in the meantime, I was playing around with some pens that I'd bought, and it was a Monday. It says, there are some days that are just absolutely dismal. Mondays generally are the worst. Today was just as expected, miserable and blue. However, there was at least a bit of color. My Amazon package, or rather 2 or 5 of them, arrived. Yay! They really brightened my day. Nesting dies that I've been wishing for some time, plus starry, sparkly washi tape and a beautiful Caribbean blue acrylic paint pen. P.S. This is a test on how I'm going to copy Terri Dudash. Well, Terri, I'm sure I haven't done you great justice, so everybody please go and take a look at her. Her work is absolutely incredible. Then, like I said to you, you know, I just splush with paint, and I remembered that I had some Tracy Scott stamps that I hadn't tried out yet. And this is a really interesting stamp. I'm going to show you, because the set is so very versatile. Here it is here. The set is so very versatile, and I think it was this one that I used. So yeah, there you can see I haven't used any of them except for this one. And I used the Tim Holtz, I think it is, or the Ranger ink at any rate, but I didn't stamp up well enough, and because of the paper being so wonky and difficult in this book, I didn't get a really good impression. Doesn't matter. I just, you know what, every day is a second chance. I'll do it again sometime soon. But I quite like it anyway. Then said washi tapes in the previous day. I had to, of course, plunk them into my journal because they're so pretty. They were all planets and starry and moons, and I mean, just look at all the glitz. You know, I love bling. I've got to have bling. So I put that in. And then a friend of mine had posted something on Facebook, which was a collage of some images, and they were just absolutely beautiful. So I chaps them, that's a South African word for I nicked them, and I printed them out. I don't know who took the photographs. They were just an image, a collage image, and I then popped them onto the page, and on my laptop I wrote, if you're feeling blue, try painting yourself a different color. So I love the color blue, I must say, but I need to try and paint myself another color. Right, that's it for this little book in the meantime. I mean, there's a long way to go, but I'm going to see how it holds up, and I hope you've enjoyed this. Come on over to ArtJournalJunkie on Facebook and join us. We're a great group. Nobody gets into any tangles because we all just love showing our work. And if you like this little video, subscribe and like, and see you again soon. Bye for now.